Most raises don't make you richer. They just make your life more expensive. Sounds wrong? But the numbers prove it. A family making $150,000 a year can end up with less savings than someone making $60,000. Over 20% of households earning six figures still live paycheck to paycheck. The problem was never your income, and what is actually draining your wealth will shock you. The median bank account balance for an American household is $8,000. That is checking and savings combined. $8,000, and almost 1 in 5 adults have zero emergency savings at all. You went to school, got the degree, landed the job, maybe even bought a house. You did everything your parents told you to do, and your reward is this: $8,000 sitting in an account while you stress about whether your car can survive another winter. Meanwhile, the top 0.1% of Americans, that is roughly 100 to 30,000 households, are sitting on $24.89 trillion in combined wealth. The bottom half of the country, over 160 million people, shares $4.25 trillion between all of them. So a tiny sliver of Americans controls nearly 6 times the wealth of half the entire nation. And the wild part? The gap did not happen because those people worked harder. Plenty of middle-class Americans work 50 and 60-hour weeks. The gap happened because they played a completely different game with their money, and nobody taught you the rules. That changes right now. But first, you need to understand why the advice you grew up on is the exact thing keeping you stuck. The raise that made you poorer, and you did not even notice. Think about the last time you got a raise. Maybe an extra $5,000 a year, maybe $10,000. What happened to it? Be honest. A nicer apartment, a better car payment, eating out a little more, maybe a vacation you deserved. And by the end of the year, you were in the same financial position as before, just with slightly more expensive habits. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the #1 wealth killer for the middle class. Your income goes up, your spending goes up to match it, and your net worth stays flat for decades. A household making $150,000 a year can end up with less savings than a family making $60,000 if the $60,000 family keeps their spending tight. And that is exactly what the data shows. People earning over $1 million a year still report feeling financially stressed when they spend every dollar that comes in. The amount you earn is not what makes you rich. The amount you keep and deploy is what makes you rich. The wealthy treat every raise differently. When their income goes up, their lifestyle stays exactly the same, and the gap between what they earn and what they spend gets funneled straight into things that make them more money. Not a savings account earning 0.5%, not a nicer watch, assets. But what does that actually look like when you are making $70,000 or $90,000 a year and life already feels expensive? That is where the real strategy starts, and it is way more accessible than you think. The $500 a month that turns into $1 million. This is the part that nobody believes until they see the math. $500 a month. That is it. Invested into a single, low-cost S&P 500 index fund, something like VTI or VOO. No stock picking, no crypto gambling, no guru courses. Just $500 going in every single month. Automatically, rain or shine, bull market or crash. At the S&P 500's historical average return of about 10% per year. That $500 a month turns into roughly $1 million in just under 29 years. You put in about $174,000 of your own money over that time. The market hands you over $800,000 on top of it for doing absolutely nothing except not touching it. And the math gets even crazier when you zoom in. It takes about 24 years to hit $500,000 with that strategy. But the second $500,000, that takes only about 7 more years. By the final years, your money is growing by almost $100,000 a year on its own. That is more than most middle-class salaries just from compound interest. The S&P 500 has never had a negative return over any 20-year period in its entire history. Not during the 2008 crash, not during COVID, not during the dot-com bust. If you held on and kept investing, you came out ahead every single time. But wait, $500 a month is still a lot of money when you are living paycheck to paycheck, right? That brings us to the one thing you need to handle before any of this even matters. The emergency. No one prepares for until it destroys them. According to Bankrate's 2025 report, only 41% Americans could cover an unexpected $1,000 expense right now. 41%? That means if your car breaks down tomorrow or you get a surprise medical bill, you are statistically more likely to go into debt than to just pay it off. And this is where the wealth-building conversation has to get real, because you cannot invest money you do not have, and you cannot keep investments when life forces you to cash them out. High-interest credit card debt has to go first. Cards charging 20, 25, even 30% interest are eating you alive. No investment on earth reliably returns 25% a year. Every dollar sitting on a credit card balance is losing a fight. It can never win. Once the high-interest debt is gone, build an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of expenses, not because it makes you rich, because it keeps you from destroying the wealth you are building. People without that buffer panic during market crashes, sell their investments at the bottom, and erase years of growth in a single scared decision. The emergency fund is your armor. The investments are your weapon. You need the armor first, or you will never survive long enough to use the weapon. And once that foundation is in place, you open up 3 lanes to build real wealth. The first one we already covered. The other 2 are where the speed really picks up. Own a box that makes money. While you are asleep, index funds are lane 1, slow, steady, and almost guaranteed to work over time. But if you want to speed things up, you need lane 2 and lane 3. Lane 2 is real estate, not because houses always go up in value, but because of leverage. With a mortgage, you control a $400,000 asset with $40,000 to $80,000 down. Your tenants pay the mortgage. The government gives you tax breaks, and your equity grows every single month without you lifting a finger. Median home prices jumped 20 to 25% in many areas over the past 3 years. If you already own property, that is free wealth. If you do not, at the very least, buying a home is a forced savings account and a hedge against rent that keeps climbing. Lane 3 is business equity. And before you say, "I do not have a business idea," hear this out. You do not need to quit your job, rent an office, or take a massive risk. A side business counts. A digital product counts. Freelancing that scales counts. Even buying a small piece of someone else's business counts. A study by Ramsey Solutions found that 79% of millionaires did not inherit their money, and 1 in 3 never even had a 6-figure salary. 8 out of 10 of them invested consistently, and many of them owned businesses on the side while keeping their day jobs. The goal is to own a system that puts money in your pocket, whether you showed up to work that day or not. You might start by selling a skill you already have on the side: web design, bookkeeping, consulting, tutoring, content creation, handyman work. Once money comes in from something you built, even $500 a month, you now have 2 income streams instead of 1, and that second stream gets invested into lane 1 and lane 2. That is how wealth compounds on itself. You are no longer just saving from a paycheck, you are stacking income sources on top of each other and funneling all the excess into assets that grow on their own. But there is one silent factor that can undo all of this, and most people never even think about it. Your zip code is stealing your wealth every single month. The middle-class income band for 2026 tops out between roughly $150,000 and $180,000 nationally. But $150,000 in San Francisco and $150,000 in Boise, Idaho are 2 completely different lives. A family that can barely afford a 2-bedroom apartment in Seattle can buy a 4-bedroom house with a yard in Boise on the same remote salary. That is not an exaggeration. That is happening right now across America. Tennessee, North Carolina, Idaho, Georgia, and Nevada are the top destinations for middle-class families in 2026 because these states let you actually keep the money you earn. And this matters more than you think. If your cost of living eats 92% of your income, you have 8% to invest. Move somewhere that eats 65%, and suddenly you have 27% going to work for you. Over 10 years, that single change could mean the difference between $50,000 in investments and $300,000 in investments. Same job, same salary, totally different outcome. The spread between what you earn and what you spend is the only number that matters for building wealth. Not your title, not your salary, not how nice your apartment is. The gap. Everything else is noise. And that brings us to the hardest part of this entire conversation, the part that separates the people who actually get wealthy from the people who just talk about it. The boring truth that makes every other strategy work. Compounding only works if you leave it alone. And leaving it alone is the hardest thing a human being can do with money. The S&P 500 delivered negative returns in only 6 out of the last 30 years. In 13 of those years, it returned over 20%. The people who got rich from the market did not have a crystal ball. They bought in, stayed in, and refused to panic when every headline told them to sell. Your real return depends entirely on your behavior. The market averaged about 10% per year historically. After inflation, the real return sits closer to 7%. But after emotional selling, bad timing, and trying to be clever, the average investor actually pockets about 3%. That gap between 10 and 3 is not a market problem. It is a human problem. When your portfolio drops $50,000 in a bad month, every instinct screams at you to sell. The wealthy ignore that voice and buy more because everything is on sale. The middle class sells and locks in losses that take years to recover from. This one behavior, doing nothing when everything feels like it is falling apart, is the dividing line between people who build real wealth and people who stay stuck in the same financial bracket their entire lives. The $8,000 wake-up call you cannot ignore. That number isn't just a stat. It's proof the work more, spend more loop is winning. The system was built to keep you earning and spending in a loop. Every ad you see, every you deserve it message, every zero-down financing offer, all of it is designed to move money out of your pocket and into someone else's asset column. Breaking out of that loop takes 5 moves, and they are all boring. Kill the high-interest debt. Build the emergency fund. Invest consistently into low-cost index funds every single month. Add a second income stream, even a small one. Keep your cost of living as low as possible relative to your income. Do those 5 things for 15 to 20 years without stopping, without panicking during downturns, and without inflating your lifestyle every time your income grows. That is the entire blueprint. No secrets, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just math, patience, and the discipline to ignore every voice telling you to spend what you should be investing. The middle class was never given this playbook. You have it now. If you want to see exactly how the top 1% structures their money to pay almost nothing in taxes while their wealth doubles every 7 years, that breakdown is on screen right now. If anything in this video changed how you think about money, drop us a comment below. And when you are ready for the next one, just tap the video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.